Captains for this week are Selby and Devontae Allen on offense, and Taj Letman and DJ Hunter on defense. And it's just important. We're looking forward to having homecoming here this week. The weather's going to be great. The sun's going to be shining, so we're expecting a big crowd. I know our kids are excited to get back home and go play. Anytime you're playing within conference, which we are right now, every game's a championship game. So you got to prepare that way. Got to have a great week of preparation, as we always do. The game's won Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday by the way you prepare. We got to make sure we continue to do that. And I've mentioned many times, every time you pick up the paper on Sunday, somebody gets beat that shouldn't. You just got to make sure it's not you. So, we got to do a great job, and it's all about preparation and getting ready to go play. So we're going to work hard this week at getting that done.
Doc, is there any issue when you're playing a team that has an interim coach and he might change up a few things from the previous people that were there?
Well, I worked with Mike Canales when it was at NC State. We were together there at NC State, and I think when you get in this point in the season, it's hard to change a lot. I mean, you got to take over as the interim coach, and you may make a couple tweaks and do a few different things. But as far as the blocking schemes and protections and everything that you've been doing all year, that's hard to change, especially if you don't have an open date. So we expect him to. Mike's a tremendous coach, and he'll get him ready to play. But we expect to see basically what we've seen. You changed quarterbacks, last week, and that kid came in and played well, and he can run it and he can throw it. And for just about everybody else that we play against, they got a quarterback to beat you with his feet, so it'll be a challenge.
How much does it help you having that experience of going up against dual threat quarterbacks coming in this week?
Well, it seems like we've always got those. From Norfolk State right on down the line, we've had that guy that you've got to defend both the run and the pass, and this guy's no different. This guy's athletic. He's big. Started out at Western Kentucky, ended up going to junior college, and ended up back at North Texas, and he's a talented young guy.
You prepare for Jacquez Johnson, and then you don't face him, but you get a mini-me the next week, pretty much.
Yeah, and he's very similar to Johnson. He's got tremendous strength in his lower body, and he's athletic and can run. So, hopefully last week may help us a little bit. Some of the same things they do are the quarterback runs that we got with we thought we were getting with FAU.
If you would have been told before the season that Rockhead would play a game and a half, you lose Clint Van Horn for as many games you've lost, and they still look at you and say you're 6-1. Would you kind of believe that?
No, I mean, just you like to believe it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I would have. I mean, you say you're going to take Rock and two of our best offensive players out and haven't played much this year, to be honest. But you know what? That's there's a lot of that this year throughout the country, and but people have to step up, and that's what great teams do. I mean, they step up, and if you told me we've been playing with Holliday Foster, tailback, and Keon Davis, I may not have came to work the next day, but I held my breath out there on Saturday. But you know what? The kids stepped up, and went in and played. And that's what they did, and I'm proud of them. And I feel a little better when they go out there Saturday because at least they've gotten their feet wet a little bit and played with confidence. But again, that's happened. It seems like not happened. Addison's gone in and done a good job at tackle, and that's what you have to do to be able to continue to win, because football's a tough game. You'll get some people hurt. This seems like this year, not only us, but a lot of people throughout the country are having the same issues we are. So hopefully that's about over.
It's kind of funny just to look back and all the guys we were talking about and writing about in spring is it's sort of flipped the exact opposite. I mean, the guys that have stepped up. Justin Hunt last week played well. Reeves all season, and High League, we had talked about being the slot guy, and now he's a running back. It's just weird how that dynamic sort of fits in.
Yeah, and what we talked about, when we're talking about guys, in our team meeting on Sunday that are playing extremely well, and the one thing that's happened around here the last going on 3 years now is our seniors have played their best football, and you look at the guys that are playing. Devontae Allen's playing the best football he's played since he's been here. Reeves has been tremendous. Swede's playing his best football. That's about the extent of the seniors on offense. But then you took over on defense, and DJ Hunter's playing tremendous. Steve Dillon, all those seniors are playing their McKelvey, going right down the line are really playing well, and that needs to Jarquez Samuel. So you got a good core group of seniors that are playing their best football, and Tyler Williams is playing his best football as a punter. So we just have to continue that throughout the year. If that continues, then we'll be fine.
How big was it for High League to step up like he did and give you guys some more offensive rhythm in the backfield when Devin goes down, Remy gets banged up, and then kind of taking the load away from Keon?
Yeah, well, we had to. I mean, we had nobody else, and I think it's not only good for him; it's good for us because he's a talented guy that we felt. I think we moved him there 3 weeks ago. He wasn't ready to play for the first couple of weeks because he didn't know what the protections. He could probably put the ball in his hand and run with it, but there's a lot more involved in being a tailback with protections and everything that's got to go along with it. So, I wasn't real comfortable with that on Saturday when he went in there, but he went in there and played well, and so did Keon. So that's a good thing, and Remy should be fine, and get Pitt back here pretty soon, and we'll be okay.
What does that say about the job Coach Barkley's done with the running backs? I mean, it's not just 1, 2 that are producing; it's 4 or 5 and on down the line.
Well, he's done a great job preparing them, because he's been by committees somewhat this year, and you'll see. We're going to bring up the other freshman and get him some work. Not that he's going to play, but we got to get Weems up there this week and get him ready to play. Hopefully, he doesn't have to. If we get to him, then we'll see what happens. But got to get him ready to go now in case we need him. But you'll get Pitt back here in a week or so, and with those other guys in there, we'll be all right.
15 yards on penalties this week, and then you clean up third downs. What was the transition over the week from Southern Miss coming into this game?
Well, I thought that officiating crew let them play. I thought they did a tremendous job. And Conference USA did a great job, and normally they don't call anything but train wrecks. I mean, that's what they call it on both sides. They just let the kids go play, and that's the way it should be. So, I think the only ones we had was a couple of just, jumping off sides or that type of thing, which we had 15 yards. They didn't have very many either. So it was a clean game, and the third down conversions, kids just made some plays. Chase did a nice job, and I think the biggest thing that impressed me about Chase on Saturday was he had that interception, which was a mistake on his part, but he came back the next drive. He was 5 for 5 and took us right down the field and scored. And didn't affect him, and that's good when he reacted the way he did. So he just has to continue to go. We got to get back. We just got to keep getting. I think the one thing that's happened is we've gotten better every week. After that second game of the year, I think every week we've made a step in the right direction. And that's what great teams do, because you get to this point in the season or even a week ago and you got teams going a lot of different directions. You got a lot of teams that aren't getting better, and you get teams that are getting better week after week after week are normally the ones that end up playing for championships. So we got to make sure we continue to do that.
How difficult is that with homecoming distraction, Parents' Day, everybody's going to be coming in, plus you're facing a winless team? Is the mental focus that much more important this week?
Well, I mean, it shouldn't change. I mean, we treat every week like a championship game, and we prepare like the way we always prepare. Our hotel won't change. Those parents won't be out at the hotel, and they won't have distractions out there. So we'll be at the hotel on Friday, and we'll do what we do on Saturday morning, come in here ready to go. And, our guys get excited about playing at home, and we'll have a great crowd out there. So I don't see anybody they better be ready to play, because if they're not, they'll get beat. I mean, that's just the way it is in college football today. And, ask Oklahoma and ask some people that have lost games they probably shouldn't have lost because they weren't prepared to play. So we got to make sure we are.
Go back to Addison and how far he's come since you briefly started him last year.
Well, Doug, he's a guy that shouldn't have played last year because he's a true freshman. To be honest with you, physically, those guys aren't ready to play. He should be a redshirt freshman right now, starting to play a little bit, and then he's got 3 great years. But we had to rush him into some things because of some injuries a year ago. But he's number one. He's a great kid. He works extremely hard. Alex has coached him up really, really well. He's gotten stronger from last year to this year. He's still not as strong as where he needs to be to play that position, but he's a lot more physical right now than he was this time last year, and he's playing well. I mean, he's got great attitude. Again, he plays extremely hard, and that's good to see, because we're sure he's done a great job stepping in there for Van Horn. And to be honest with you, at the end of the Kent game, he went in there and found a way to get it done for us to win that game against Kent. So he's played well.
What about Foster's performance impressed you the most, Don?
Well, the protection part of it, probably impressed me the most, because that's part that you don't see that he has to get done, is protection as far as the quarterback's concerned. But he's a talented guy with the ball in his hands. We've known that, and this just gives us the opportunity to get the ball in his hands a little more. And that one run he made, I saw a running back that could separate and could outrun people, and that's hopefully that's going to help us. But he's got to continue to get better too now. He thinks he's already arrived. He hadn't. I mean, he can't get complacent. He's got to go out there today and go to work, or he'll be able to watch him with me again. So he needs to continue to work and get better and get ready to go play.
Does he bring a different dynamic than, say, Johnson and Watson, those guys, to the room when he comes in?
Yeah, well, he's a little bit more dynamic in space. He can run, and you saw kind of flashes of it last year as a freshman, playing wide out with returning punts and doing a few things. And at that tailback position, if he can get him in space, and he's a handful. So, like I said, he's just got to continue to work and become more consistent and go extremely hard in practice. If he does all those things, he'll be fine.
Back to Addison really quick. I mean, people forget this kid was 360 and dropped about 80
Mm.
pounds. You know, how difficult was that process for him to get used to playing at that weight and then building back the strength after he lost so much weight?
Well, when we got him, he had lost quite a bit at Fork Union. He was really heavy when he got to Fork Union. Did a great job of losing that weight, but he wasn't very physically strong. You know, when he came in a year ago, so he's made great, strides in the strength room, and he's got his body in shape, and he looks like a player should look right now. So he's got to keep working and get better and continue to get strong. And he's going to be a really good player before he gets out of here.
Naquan Harris was a project sorts for you back in August, and he scored for you last Saturday.
He came in as wide as he was tall. That's no exaggeration. I think he was 355 or something. He's only 6 foot tall, but so we got about 55 pounds off of him now. He looks normal, and he can. He's a player. I mean, that kid. He's a good football player. He's the one who created the safety, as you mentioned, and he's just got it. He's the kind of guy that gets in there and he's got it, and he's playing a lot of football for us right now. And a lot of those young kids. You look up there up front now, and you got a lot of freshmen in there making plays. You got Naquan Harris. You got B's doing a good job up front. So there's a lot of young kids that are rotating in that front, that defensive line that have helped provide depth. And Jason Smith's another freshman that got in there and played quite a bit on Saturday. So that's good to see those young kids in there, and those older kids continue to play well.
I know that the way that the schedule works out, the bye week isn't until the next to last week of the season. How important, especially against a team that's struggled in the first quarter this year, is it important to get out to a lead early and try and establish yourselves and possibly get some younger guys in there to rest a little bit?
We're not concerned about getting younger guys in, but I think it's always important to start fast. That's part of what we try to do is set the tone for the game early on, and you want to start fast, whether it be offense or defense. That never changes regardless of who you play. So we'll try to do that again on Saturday.
About the personality of this team and what they've had to endure, can you kind of frame that against the guys you've had before?
Yeah, I like this team a lot. I mean, this team, they're a tight group. They like each other. They're fun to be around, and they think they're a special group. I mean, they just they're going to find a way to get things done, and you watch the way they go about their business and practice and everything else. They're very they like what they're doing, and they work extremely hard, and they understand what it takes to get us where we want to go. And the same old deal. I mean, you got a great core group of older kids that have been through it and have taken ownership in the team, and they don't accept. They hold all these young guys accountable for doing the right thing, getting themselves prepared to play. And that's what I don't mean to keep beating a dead horse. But that's what good teams do. I mean, when you get that kind of attitude with a group of kids, which we've had the last 3 years, then you got a chance to be pretty good. And that's they won't let us lose. Those kids refuse to let us lose, and that's a good thing.
3 conference games, you all have given up 11 red zone opportunities and only 5 scores. What is it about the red zone defense? Is it more confidence? What is it that makes for successful red zone defense?
I think the defensive staff have done a tremendous job what they're doing down there as far as their play calling is concerned. We've got good players.